Distressed properties. A very common question that I get from buyers looking for a deal. And many times, they don't know the difference between a short sale and a foreclosure. Let's talk a little bit about distressed properties. First, let's begin with some definitions. A notice of default. A notice of default, or an NOD, is a public notice that's provided by the lender, which is basically telling the homeowner, we recognize that you haven't been paying your mortgage. There isn't an exact amount of time when an NOD will be filed, but just know that it is a public notice that is provided to the homeowner. A notice of sale. This is another public notice provided by the lender to the homeowner that says, you haven't cured it, so therefore this property is going to be sold at auction in 21 days. A newer definition is forbearance. Forbearance is when your mortgage servicer allows you to pause for a limited amount of time on your payments. Be aware that this does not erase what you owe, and missed or reduced payments will need to be repaid, but it's essentially a pause as you figure out exactly what needs to be done. There is also the term short sale and foreclosure. Short sale is after a notice of default has been served and been provided to a homeowner, but before a notice of sale has been provided. Let's step back and talk briefly about short sales. The whole idea of a short sale is that the seller, you, are trying to sell the property for less than what you owe on the property. As an example, you buy a property for $400,000, the market goes down, or you borrow against the property. Maybe you owe $500,000 and today it's worth $375,000. In that $125,000 gap, you can appeal to your mortgage servicer, the lender, and see if they will sell it short, if they will eat the $125,000 difference. Be advised though, this isn't something that they will just automatically approve, that there needs to be, you need to show certain circumstances or issues as to why you were unable to make the payment. When it comes to a notice of default, make note that the lender doesn't want to foreclose on you. So a foreclosure is if a short sale is not completed, if you are unable to get approved for the short sale, then the property will sell at auction. The bank will essentially take the property back and sell it. Lenders may not record a notice of default against you unless the lender has already contacted the borrower, typically you, by phone or in person to assess the borrower's financial situation and explore options for avoiding foreclosure. It's also important to note that servicers must not make the first notice or filing required for the foreclosure process until a mortgage loan account is more than 120 days delinquent. The idea behind all of this is they want to give borrowers reasonable time to submit modification applications. Here's the deal. Your lender doesn't want to take the property back. They don't want to foreclose upon you. They want to figure out a way that we can make this work. Bottom line, the minimum time for a trustee sale foreclosure is 110 days after the notice of default is recorded for most loans. Work it out with your lender. See what options you have and hire a professional like myself who can work with you to figure out the best strategy. Another option that you can look at is forbearance. And forbearance is a newer thing that has come around due to COVID. You have a right to request a 180-day pause, basically a 6-month pause on paying your mortgage, but recognize that regular interest does still accrue on this. There isn't some hard and fast rule when it comes to forbearance. Every lender is doing things a little bit different. So it's important that you ask your lender a few very important questions. Number one, will you owe the entire unpaid amount in a lump sum? Are they going to require that if you did not make a mortgage payment for 6 months and your mortgage payment is $3,000 a month, at the end of that 6 months, are they going to require an $18,000 check? Or is the loan going to be extended? Or subsequent months after that 6-month period, will you just have a higher mortgage payment? Forbearance, there are pros and cons with, and it's very important that you know what you're stepping into before you simply apply for it. I believe that there is some great solutions when it comes to distressed properties, both on the buying side, but also working with somebody that knows the process on the selling side. Please reach out to us and let us help you figure this situation out.